What if I told you that your spiritual awakening could actually become a trap? That instead of freeing you, it could put you in an even stronger prison, the prison of a spiritual identity. Many people who go through an awakening believe they have broken free from illusions, only to unknowingly create a new one. They stop identifying with their jobs, relationships, and material success, but instead, they start identifying with their level of consciousness, their spiritual knowledge, and their awakened status. It feels liberating at first. You feel like you see the truth while others are still asleep. You feel wiser, more conscious, and more evolved. But here's the problem. Spirituality was never meant to be an identity. It was meant to dissolve all identities. When awakening turns into a label you wear, it's no longer about seeing reality clearly. It becomes just another version of the ego. And that's exactly what we're going to break down today. How awakening can turn into an identity, why it's dangerous, and how to avoid this trap. A spiritual identity is when you start defining yourself by your awakening. Instead of just living in awareness, you now see yourself as the awakened one, the enlightened one, or the person who knows the truth. It's when spirituality stops being a way to experience reality and instead becomes a new label, a new mask for the ego. At its core, the ego wants to feel special. Before awakening, it might have identified with status, money, or relationships. But after awakening, it simply upgrades its game. Now, instead of saying, "I'm successful," or "I'm intelligent," it says, "I'm awakened," "I see the illusion," or "I'm beyond the matrix." The words change, but the underlying need to define oneself remains. And that's the danger, because true awakening isn't about adding a new identity. It's about dissolving all identity altogether. So how does this happen? How does something as profound as awakening turn into just another ego structure? It happens in subtle ways, and many don't even realize it's happening. First, there's comparison. You begin dividing the world into awakened and unawakened people. You see those who are still caught up in materialism, politics, or religion as asleep, and feel a sense of superiority because you see the truth. This mindset creates separation, even though true awakening is about unity. Then comes clinging to spiritual labels. You start seeing yourself as a starseed, a light worker, a chosen one, or some other special title that reinforces your awakened identity. At first, it feels empowering, but over time, it becomes another illusion, another way to define yourself instead of simply being. The biggest trap of all is believing you are beyond the ego. The moment you think, "I have no ego," that's actually the ego speaking. It's a trick, because if there's still a you that claims to be free from ego, then the ego is still very much in control. True awakening isn't about believing you're enlightened. It's about realizing there's no separate you to be enlightened in the first place. Why does all of this matter? Why is turning awakening into an identity so dangerous? The first danger is that it creates separation. The moment you believe you are more awakened than others, you've already fallen into illusion. Awakening is about recognizing the oneness of all things. If your spirituality makes you feel superior to others, then it's just another ego game. The second danger is that it stops growth. If you believe you have arrived spiritually, you stop questioning yourself. You stop being open to new perspectives. Real awakening is not a final destination. It's an endless unfolding. When you cling to a spiritual identity, you stop evolving because you think you've already made it. The third danger is that it becomes just another belief system. Instead of being truly free, you get trapped in a new ideology. You start defending your spiritual beliefs in the same way that religious or political groups defend theirs. You reject anything that doesn't fit your awakened worldview. And instead of expanding your awareness, you limit it. If you're on the path of awakening, how do you make sure you don't fall into this trap? The first step is staying humble. Awakening doesn't make you special. It makes you ordinary. The more deeply you awaken, the less you feel the need to prove anything. You stop trying to be someone because you realize there was never a separate someone in the first place. The second step is dropping the labels. You are not an awakened person or a conscious being. You are simply life itself, experiencing itself. The moment you attach a label to it, you create another illusion. True awakening isn't about claiming an identity. It's about dissolving all identities and simply existing as you are. The third step is continuing to question yourself. If you ever feel like you've figured it all out, ask yourself, who is it that feels so certain? Is this real awareness, or is this just another ego identity? A truly awakened person doesn't cling to their beliefs. They remain open, flexible, and free from fixed ideas. Finally, embrace not knowing. The deeper your awakening, the more you realize how little you actually know. Real wisdom isn't about having all the answers. It's about being comfortable with uncertainty. The greatest teachers don't claim to be enlightened. They don't go around telling people how spiritual they are. Instead, they simply live in presence, free from the need to define themselves. Awakening isn't something you have. It isn't something you are. It's simply the recognition that there is no separate you in the first place. When spirituality becomes an identity, it loses its truth. It becomes another belief system, another ego illusion. But when you let go of all identity, spiritual or not, you finally see reality as it is. So the real question is this: are you truly awake, or just holding on to another illusion? Let that sink in. Sino, thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps spread this message. And if you're on a journey of awakening and want more insights like this, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. Spirituality isn't about adding more beliefs. It's about seeing through them. So, if you're ready to go deeper, stick around. I'll see you in the next one.